I think before Live Aid, we were fairly bored with being Queen. We'd done a lot. We'd been around the world. We had a lot of success. And I think really it looked like the future was just going to be maybe more of just a recycling of what we'd been doing before. And so I think, you know, it came along at a nice time. We needed a bit of a fillip and a little challenge of something different. First I heard about Live Aid was from Bob. You know, he was buttonholing everybody at various dinners and lunches and sort of things, you know, around the music business. And he was pestering everybody. There was a very simple remit. It was, I think we were going to get 17 minutes and absolutely no more. And everybody was told, we'll come and drag you off stage if you go over. And he the only words, the phrase I remember him using is, it'll be a global jukebox. And it's exactly what it was, really, so that we tried to fit in with that remit. It was as simple as that, really, you know. I mean, if you've got 17 minutes on a big stage to make an impact for a good cause, play the hits, you know. Don't play your latest record. Play the hits. Play what people know you for. And, you know, it's common sense. We rehearsed our performance. I've read some, everything you read is crap, but, and usually wrong, factually. But I've read that we'd done all this massive rehearsing. In fact, we had 3 short rehearsals in the Shaw Theatre in Euston Road, and we just trying to work out which songs we'd stick in, really, and how to join them up. And we then played them through a few times, and that was it. There was no great plan, but, you know, if you're going to do something and 17 minutes make it work, you better rehearse a bit, you know. You'd be pretty arrogant not to. I do remember feeling we were quite tense before we went on, because I think a lot of people were. It did have an extra urgency to it, because it's one of these first real global broadcasts, and there was a particular sort of urgency. So you know you better get it right. You just really prayed that nothing broke down. I think when things break down, you've got no power over that. And I think various artists did have technical hitches, you know. But we had a very good sound guy there from America who'd been with us for years. He was fantastic and made sure it was all okay out the front, you know. But they would just pray that nothing broke down on stage. And I do remember I could hear almost nothing on stage. It was just a sort of row, really, you know. Because it was just, you had to be sort of thrown on, and if your monitors worked, they worked, and if they didn't, there's nothing you could do about it. So basically it was heads down and just play. But I remember we were dressed very straight, very dressed down, really, just jeans and shirts and things, yeah. We didn't want to make it like a great big, this is a show. We were just, you realise you were one of a series of acts, and it was basically get on there and do your bit and then come off, you know. And so we certainly didn't dress up for it. Normally we'd be going on in ball gowns or tights or something, you know. I think we'd just grown out of that period, actually. I do remember looking up, though, I think it was probably We Are the Champions or something, and I remember just seeing it was like a field of wheat. Looked like every arm in the stadium was waving, and it was just sort of waving. As the sound goes down the stadium, it obviously takes time to get to the back, so it's sort of like a wheat field effect. And I remember thinking, wow, they really love this. This is great, you know. And there was a very joyous feeling. It was, I remember coming off feeling, we went down well, that was good. Freddie was always in front of us, so we were used to, you know, he was the best front man, the best. He had this fantastic, he looked powerful, and he sounded powerful, and he had the sort of understood humour underlying it all. So he didn't come over macho. He was sort of a little bit funny, but very impressive. But a lot of things very difficult to pin down, Freddie, and his appeal. But you know, we were a very good unit, and he was our focus. And yeah, it's a strange thing, that. But the more I look back on some of the old stuff that we did, the more respect I have for Freddie Mercury. Everybody sort of warmed to him when he, you know, and he'd get them to sing this and then the sort of impossible bits, and they couldn't quite sing that. It's a sort of old trick, but it's a great way of communicating with your audience, and yeah. But it was always semi-spontaneous, you know, really, and how long it would last, or depending on how good he felt and how good the response was, you know. I mean, he's certainly in great form there, you know. But I think I would look to a couple, 2, 3, 4 years before that to see him at his absolute peak. But yeah, no, I mean, no, it doesn't affect me anymore because it's part of my mental wallpaper, you know. It's, you know, it's part of what we are. I mean, Brian and I still regard ourselves as being sort of Queen, really. Whether we're actually doing anything or not, we are actually working quite a lot. But whether we are or not, that's what we're stuck with, you know. So that, you know, here we are. I'm not going to be a lawyer now, or a doctor, or a